Welcome back to Motor City, everyone. Queen City went on a 15-play, 59-yard opening drive to take a 3-0 advantage. Motor City drove down the field 10 plays, 73 yards, but they also came up short of the end zone. It is 4th and goal at the 1. Motor City trying to tie the game at 3. We apologize for the lost signal. YouTube scrambled the 2 feeds when we sent out the second one, and I don't know, I guess we messed with its head by calling it a new name, doing all the same name, doing all sorts of different stuff. It's all producer jargon. Anyway, back to the game. Sorry about that. Damon and Eddie back on the call. Take it away, guys.
4th and goal here for the Motor City VAs. Thank you, Cameron Irvine, for that update. Both of these teams, Eddie Gage, has basically held the ball for the entire quarter. 1 possession apiece, and there's 45 seconds left on the clock here in the remaining of this quarter. There's the kick for the field goal, and it's good for 18 yards. Both teams had great drives, Eddie Gage, but both of them ended in field goals.
You want to put points on the board in terms of touchdowns rather than field goals, because come the fourth quarter, you hope you got yourself in a position in which that does not come back to bite you. Neither team was able to capitalize, so we'll see how it plays out down the road.
Awesome. So here are the Motor City V8s. They're going to kick it off here to Queen City for the second time today. And Queen City is going to take it right at the 5-yard line. And here is the returner. He's going to bounce it out to the top of the field before being tackled and brought down at the 28. And Gage, can you call out the defense for the Motor City V8s?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Defensive ends, Doug Howard and Dakota Butts. Defensive tackles, Nick Brummer and Mike Belote. Linebackers, former Houston Hyena Rodney Panani, Sabo Kanan, and Matthew Hufford. And we get to the defensive backs after this play.
Here is John Lakeman underneath the center. Jet Zero dots the single back, and Zero breaks a few tackles, picks up 5 yards, tackled and brought down at Queen City's 32.
Lockdown corners include Mark Kaufman and league leading interceptor King Rashid. He got 8 of them things already. I think about 5 of them was against Arizona a couple weeks ago. Safeties David Leathers, Nicholas Warner, and Kane Vasquez.
King Rashid is a dog. Met him at the convention last summer, man. Real cool dude. Here is Lakeman. Oh, Lakeman overthrew the receiver. Can't say he overthrew the receiver because the receiver ran back towards the line of scrimmage when the pass was thrown.
Looked like miscommunication there, Damon.
Well, I think Jet Zero had a defensive tackle rolling down his back. He's like, I'm not catching that. My bad, Jet Zero, if you're listening.
Of course he is.
3 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. Lakeman, shotgun, doubles right. 2-step drop, going across him into the fence, picked off. And on the interception is strong safety Ken Vasquez.
And you can see there, Damon, that the receiver looked like he's short on that ball, thinking about the hit he was going to take. I'm not going to call out his number, but his first name is Doug, and he kind of short on that when Doug did and put his quarterback out there in a bad spot, interception, turnover on downs.
That's the end of the first quarter. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations, as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, Eddie Gage, they put what?
The fan in fantasy.
Here is Motor City. And he gets pressured and tackled and brought down. And who comes with the heat?
Number 99 for Queen City.
Dan Dash. And don't ever call him Dame.
303 pounds. Rookie, first-round draft pick. They actually fooled Motor City right there. They lined up about 12 yards off the ball, but once the ball was hiked, the corner came flying down.
Defense calling strong back, strong side, all kind of stuff. Here's a handoff here by Motor City. And that goes to Bill Cherry. And Cherry's going to pick up a few yards there. It looks like he picks up 4. No, he picks up 1.
3rd down and 9, another 3rd and long situation, DeMond. Neither one of these teams really want to be in this predicament.
There's a trips to the right of Cruetta. 5-step drive. Got a man open down to the bottom of the field. Pass is caught on the reception. Picks up the first down. What a try. Oh, they got a challenge.
No, they got him short.
They're saying that Shane Kaufman came up short, but I believe he got the, unless he stepped out of bounds.
Nah, I think his left foot was out of bounds right before he crossed the first down marker.
That's what I was going to say. I think he stepped out of bounds as well. There's no challenge flag coming out. So maybe Motor City is seeing the same thing. Oh, they're going to, maybe they're seeing the same thing that we just stated, that there was a foot out of bounds before crossing. Oh, there's an encroachment on the D-line. And it's by big number 99 who got the pressure on the previous 2 plays, Dan Dash. And every defensive coordinator, head coach, and owner nightmare is the encroachment here in the APL.
And had they hiked that ball, I think they would have got it anyway, DeMond. They lined up, and I believe that was Jacks with 3 tight ends flanked on the line of scrimmage. And Queen City countered with a 3-3 nickel defense, only 6 men in a box. Not a favorable matchup for them.
No, not at all. There's Cruetta, sporting that 1-bar face mask. A single bar, should I say. Takes a 2-step drop, side on throw. Wow. That pass is caught by Dean.
That looked like he was throwing a slider, like as he was in baseball, DeMond.
Yeah, used to a slider. I know that's right. It's crazy how in baseball, man, all those different pitches they have all go in accordance to the way how you move your arm, twist your wrist. Here it is. Dean again. Dean picks up 6.
And once again, we see that 3-3 nickel defense, DeMond, and the offense, particularly the offensive line, they've got to be salivating, thinking about taking care of these matchups, DeMond.
Motor City down to Queen City's 17-yard line. 3-3 is the defense. I don't see anyone playing on the slot towards the top. There's an out route. He's wide open. First down is picked up. Move the chains, ref.
Move the chains, indeed. And Motor City coming to look out here and make a statement here at home, trying to see if they can pick up a touchdown on this drive, DeMond, rather than settling for another field goal attempt.
5-yard pickup by Darby on the reception. Look out for field calls to the top of the field. He's going to go on the out route. No, they're going to dump it off here to Dean in the flats, and Dean's going to pick up 3 yards on that reception down to the 9-yard line.
You wonder if he practices that throw because he continues to get pressure in his face, and he kind of throws his arm like he's throwing a curveball or a slider or something, and somehow he has enough arm strength to get it out there.
Maybe he grew up a fan of John Elway and has that John Elway throwing motion. 3-3 nickel defense again. Is this the base defense for this team? There's another side-on throw. That pass is tipped it away inside the end zone. That was dangerous.
And this is what I'm thinking. I'm not in Tom Welsh's head. No clue what he's thinking, but if I take a educated guess here against that gun straight, he comes out here with a 3-3 nickel trying to pack the middle of this field here with defenders and make it a more difficult throw. Here it is again, DeMond.
3rd and 7 at Queen City's 9-yard line. Coretta in the shotgun all by himself. Hold that thing tight and picked off right at the goal line.
He might be
we
gone.
may have the first touchdown of the game. And look no other. It's my main man, G.B. Wallace. Just crossed Hollywood Boulevard for 99 yards. My goodness. Actually make it 100.
His first interception of the season goes for 100 yards. Damon, as you stated, we talked about it just a moment ago. They're trying to pack the paint in a basketball term, trying to pack the middle of this defense, keep an extra linebacker inside. They actually sent the Mike linebacker on a blitz, forced the throw, ill-advised throw, he hit the panic button, and Queen City's first points of the board in forms of a touchdown comes from the defense.
We have not called out the defense for Queen City Corsair, so let's go ahead and do that now. Defensive end, LL Vogt. DN, Dame Dash, we spoke of earlier. Defensive tackle, they only have one on this team, Joseph Siboka. Inside linebacker is Kappa Jones. Outside guys are Claudius Periwinkle the third, Orion Horace, and Greg Gaines are the cornerbacks. Ted Haynes, Newton North, Nano Matthews, Todd Rigsby, and GB Wallace. Almost called them, and also they have kicker Joe Garfield, who's about to kick it off now. Almost called it GP. I don't know if you heard me stumbled when I was calling it, but I almost called him GP. So here's Motor City. On the assuming possession, they will start at the 31-yard line. Eddie Gage, this got to hurt. Motor City after that drive. They had a great drive.
They did.
That they put together. Got all the way down inside the 10-yard line, and they throw that pick six.
It hurts the mind, but you have to have a short memory, try to put it behind you because they had a successful drive up to that point. No sense in looking in the past.
Here's Cruetta. 5-step drop. There's an out route open to the top of the field. That pass is caught. Darby.
In the SFL YouTube channel, Damon, there's a bunch of pirate ship flags. I don't know if you've seen that Twitter account, but whenever it's game day, on Twitter they post pictures of boats coming in as if they're about to take over a bunch of pirate ships. it looks menacing, Damon. I can't even front.
Split back jokers here for the V8s, and they're going to give it to the fullback, and Cherry is tackled after picking up. No, did he lose a yard?
They're going to call it 3rd down and 3. He gained 2 yards.
Did he gain 2?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're right. They were at the 36. My apologies. They were at the 36. They're at the 38 now. You're right, Andy. And there's another sidearm throw. What a beautiful pass. And then they're going to be caught by 89 Darby. Oh, there's 86. I'm sorry, Guy Clausen. Did Guy Clausen move from wide receiver from tight end to wide receiver?
He did this season.
Good pick up there. I was a little confused. I was like, wait a minute. I know he played tight end last year. Here's Coretta underneath the center. Old-fashioned style. 3-step drop. That sidearm is dumped off to Cherry, and Cherry's going to pick up 7 yards on that screen pass to the fullback.
And on that camera shot, you can see just how long of a throw that is, but the arm strength he has to get that ball out in that throwing motion, you just wonder how many curls he's doing in between games.
Mm-hmm. Motor City and Queen City territory for the 3rd time today. They're going to go far. Tight end flex. 3-3 nickel is the defense. Picks up the first down. It's Dean.
Gonna go hurry up.
Dean, the 3-year veteran, was on the move. 1st and 10. As you stated, they're going to go hurry up here. Saw something versus the defense. He's going to go deep to the corner post. And it's a pass caught by the number 3 receiver on the depth chart. No, that was a tight end. That was the field cost.
Wow,
that was down to the 12-yard line, 36-yard line. My goodness, Coretta.
Come on, bro.
I got things to do. And this gets sacked. This game is interesting. Saboko. Back to the 18-yard line. Coretta got all day to throw across the middle of the field. That pass is caught. They're going to go to the huddle this time.
On that previous play, they actually double teamed
Coughing
Demond.
on the reception.
Yeah, the receiver on the wide side of the field.
Yo, you got to be the gutsiest man on earth to call a post corner out of the slot to the tight end. Here's Cruetta. Got his man down to the 40. Gonna say 14 inches. I think he got robbed.
I don't know.
Was robbed, if you ask me.
The ball was in his right hand. I'd love to get another look at that. That was a guy Clausen. I think that's a good spot, Demond.
You think so? But the ball was in his left hand, wasn't it?
No, it was in his right hand. He transitioned to his left hand as he went down.
Okay. Oh, he tried to do the old sneak.
Yeah.
Sneak it over. Yeah, I got you.
Walter Payton used to do that.
Yeah. Here's the kick. And it is good. On the kick was Caleb Richards. Doesn't tie the game up, but it gives Motor City.
Caleb came into this game, Demond, with 14 field goal makes. That's first in the SFL. And he just added 2 more to his resume today.
Scoring drive on that play, 19-yard field goal by Richards, as we mentioned. 10 plays, 66 yards total.
Four minutes and 3 seconds left in this very fast-moving first half, Demond. Very few possessions for both teams. Got to capitalize on each opportunity.
That it is. It is a very fast-moving game here. And here's a look at Lakeman. Queen City got help from their defense on the previous 2 possessions. Here is Lakeman. Lakeman dunking off right across the middle of the field to Jet Zero. That's out to the 27.
Jet Zero, his outlet receiver, Demond. No one was open, forced to check it down.
Shotgun formation here for Queen City. 3-2 dime. There's a sweep to Jet Zero. Jet Zero makes a man miss on that toss play, and he's having some pretty good success with it.
Yeah, you would think a power back such as Jet Zero would not have the foot quickness to take advantage of such a situation, Demond. It's a slow developing play, but perhaps they saw something on film because they've dialed it up a couple times now successfully.
Here is Jet Zero, spin move by the big fella. He picks up the first down.
As a big man, particularly, Demond, you don't want to spend too many times on 3rd and short spinning. You rather see him lower their shoulder and pick up that first down.
Absolutely agree with you. 1st and 10 here for Queen City and John Lakeman.
John Lakeman is flooding the game chat with those Queen City flags.
Are those things legal?
Yes.
Just starting some controversy. Here's a dump off the Zero. Zero's out to the 44-yard line. He's going to pick up 7 yards on that reception.
Jet Zero thinks he's a finesse back. He caught the pass, Demond, and before he even secured the ball, he was already switching it to his other hand.
That is hilarious. He has been doing that he's been doing that all game for a fullback. For a heavy back. You don't normally see a heavy back try to put on moves like that. 5'11", 230. That's the 2-minute warning. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. The SFL would like to recognize some staff who operate mostly behind the scenes to keep the league operational. Mac Daggs directs the broadcast team, compiling research data, collecting availability, and scheduling crews. Chris Curtis provides assistance in the technical support and vets new broadcasters. Here is Jet Zero again, and Zero gets the first down. Stephen Hacker directs game day operations to ensure broadcast and stats teams are functioning all weekend long. Check back in the future to hear more about the SFL, which is the most well-run simulation operations.
That zero has transitioned to a balance back now. There's that toss again.
There it is. He's going to pick up a yard there, though. They're in Motor City territory.
2nd down and 9. You're on the right side of the 50, Damon. In position to potentially put up points.
You're absolutely right about that. They are in position to pick up points here on this drive. A nice drive they're putting together. Going deep is Lakeman. That pass is tipped it away.
That ball's tipped a couple of times. I thought they were going to come up with it there. That's the 2nd time on this drive they dialed that play up, and Jet Zero was open once again on the check down. But Lakeman had bigger dreams, was looking for the end zone.
Yeah, but when you test King Rashid,
be careful.
Very, very careful.
Ashley Jackson knows King Rashid real well.
I heard about that. 5 wide receiver set, empty, shotgun, going deep, cross the middle is broken up by the defense of Motor City. Pass intended for Diesel Powell, the 11-year veteran.
That looked like 50 doubles crossed, Damon, designed to beat man coverage. That time they caught Motor City in zone coverage. No one was open, and another ill-advised throw there. Look at that hospital pass. Almost ended his career.
David Leathers was all over it.
Diesel Powell, former New Orleans player. I recruited him and practically begged him to come play for us in Arizona. He said, "Sir, thanks, but no thanks."
You know, you get that a lot. How is it that you get that a lot? You get that a lot with the thanks, no thanks.
Offensive guys just don't like me. Next time I send Ashley Jackson to recruit him, sing some sweet nothings in his ear and give him a sign up.
Player signed. Player signed already. I think it's because Ashley know how to talk to people outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You come in all, bossy and stuff. You have a way to be aggressive with people.
Sign here, damn it.
Hand up here to Cherry. Cherry went right up the middle. Oh, did you see the move? LL Vogt was injured on the play, but my goodness, taking nothing away from Bill Cherry athleticism.
LL Vogt probably pulled a hamstring, the defensive end for Queen City, trying to tackle Bill Cherry on that play. Hopefully he's okay.
Ibrahim Coretta, quarterback, 2nd and 7 at his own 15-yard line. Almost drops the ball there. Sidearm throw is picked off again by this defensive Queen City. Greg Gaines, have yourself a game.
Former Chicago Wildcat, played for a few different teams around the league. He seems to have found a home over here in Queen City. Been very active in the player ratings page and getting his social media content out there. And here he is on the field making an impact for Queen City.
At the 26, Motor City takes over. Queen City takes over. And it has been the Queen City Corsairs defense that has been really putting this team on the back. And there's a pass there, reception by Diesel Powell down to the 20-yard line, 6-yard pickup.
That was Greg Gaines' 41st career interception.
Second and 4 here for the Motor City V8s. 40 seconds to halftime. Finally got a chance to get that clock to stop. It was just moving. Especially the first quarter. Shotgun, Lakeman. Passes intercepted. Right at the 1-yard line, though.
Another ill-advised pass. I'm not sure what he thought he saw there, but no one was open.
Here's Nicholas Warner. Jumped right in front of it.
And again, he ignored the check down receiver with Jet Zero and elected to throw the ball deep, and this time he paid for it.
Nick Warner came up from that safety spot. If I'm not mistaken, I think he plays the slot safety.
Got to be careful here if you're Motor City.
1st and 10 at your own 1-yard line. They're going to dump it off to Dean out of the flats, and he's going to get right back to the line of scrimmage. That is very, very dangerous. This is a very dangerous position to be in.
John Lakeman has 32 yards passing and 2 interceptions, but his team finds themselves ahead 10-6.
He only goes foreign formation here. Handoff here to Cherry. Cherry's going to pick up 2 yards.
That's going to take it to the half, DeMond.
That's it. Enter gauge for the first half. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music.
Very fast first half, DeMond. 10-6 a halftime score. You see the stats there. Nothing to write home about if you're Queen City. Not even 100 yards of total offense, but the only stat that matters is the scoreboard. And now, at this particular time, they find themselves up 10-6 going into the half.
You're absolutely right. Not having 100 yards in the first half and then having the lead, I mean, that's all that matters, right? I was about to say attributes. I mean, statistics, that can wait, you know? Only thing we want is the win. But offense of Queen City has to take advantage of the turnovers that they're causing that is putting them in great field position. Yes, they did pick up a pick 6 off of one play, but that last interception, they could have got themselves in the end zone, and I think that they shouldn't have tried to go towards the end zone as quickly as they did.
Yeah.
They should have probably tried to march down, get some throws, sideline, boom, step out of bounds, stop the clock. You know, let's move it down. You didn't have to try to take it all on one shot.
Absolutely agree with you, DeMond. For whatever reason, I'm not sure, but he continues to ignore the check down. We've seen it 3 times on just the last drive alone. Take what the defense gives you, live for another down.
Yeah, and Motor City, let's be honest, they got a break on that last possession. Being down right at your 1 yard line, that could have been a disastrous for this ball club. With that, Queen City could have got a 2-point conversion from the safety, would have put them up by 6 points in this ball game if they would have converted a safety there by being on their 1 yard line. But that was a great and outstanding play by Nicholas Warner right there as I speak of it, right at the 1 yard line. He gets that interception and to get the turnover for his ball club.
Tom Welsh, not sure if he can predict the future, but talking to him pregame, DeMond, he had a feeling that his defense was going to put up a good showing today, and so far he has. They've only surrendered 6 points thus far, so you can tell he spent time in the lab this week getting his defense ready for this matchup.
From the owner, or half owner of the Motor City V8s, Colin Northrup requests that we hold a moment of silence for the victims of the Michigan State shooting. It's such a tragic that those individuals happen to be injured and others lose their lives for such inconsiderate behavior. A moment of silence, please. Thanks, Colin Northrup, for that request. Our prayers goes out to those victims and their families. Now back to the ball game. Here's the return here by the Motor City V8s at their 1 yard line, and they're going to be tackling the ball down right at the 24.
Looking at that kickoff return, DeMond, it reminds me, I used to be a kickoff returner, and anytime I return the football, it looks like the entire team is running towards you. And in fact, they are. And that's one job I'm glad I no longer have.
I agree with you, dude. It looks like they're exactly coming. Hell, they are coming after you. You got the ball. You're talking about his Cherry. Cherry would have bounced outside, saw that the hole was clogged up. There's a cramps for Vogt. Vogt may return if you can get that muscle cramp situation situated over there on the sidelines, and put some icy hot on it, some ice on it, and get back in the ball game.
That ball is designed to go to the right side of the center, DeMond, and he bounced it outside like a tailback.
My man. Here is Dean. Dean gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
Bill Cherry is having a better day offensively than his tailback. Bill Cherry at this rate may be asking for more carries next season.
Look at you starting stuff.
No. I'm just saying they need to run the ball more, that's all.
I know what you're saying. I'm just trying to get in the front office something to think about. Oh, that pass is almost intercepted, incomplete. On the deflection was Tad Haynes.
And you can see creator there, DeMond. No one was open, and the double pump just buys the defense time to get over to the sidelines and make a play. He's fortunate that ball was not picked off.
Very fortunate because Ted Haynes was there. He had his paws on it with both hands. That should have been caught.
He's going to force a punt here on 4th down and 4.
Fair catch called by the receiving team, Queen City.
DeMond, if you're Queen City's offense, how do you approach this second half?
If I'm Queen City offense, I want to get Jet Zero going back in the offense. The previous two possessions, Jet Zero wasn't involved outside of the toss play from the shotgun formation. We see him get 2 of those, but you got to get him going up the middle of the field where he's known for grounding and pounding the inside of a defense and basically taking the heart and soul out of it. There he is right there on another toss play, picks up 3 yards.
And the second time in this game that I've seen, Motor City is doubling the number 1 receiver for this team. Gonna make someone else beat him.
Queen City at their own 42-yard line. Single back formation is Jet Zero. He's going to go out in the flats, out route to the top of the field. That pass is going to be caught, crosses midfield and more. Breaks the tackle at the 38. Oh my goodness, what a catch. And run afterwards for 29 yards on that reception.
I said it earlier, one of my favorite tight ends. He doesn't have the best build as some of the other guys, DeMond, but come game day, maybe it's something in his mental preparation, but he always tends to show up for the big moments.
James Matthews Jr., what a play after the catch. You know, I think the most underrated but most important stats in a ball game is
yak yards. Yep.
There's another toss to Jet Zero, and Zero is hitting the backfield for a 4-yard loss. And not only did he build up yak yards, he had yards after contact on the play. Empty formation here for Lakeman. 2nd and 14. Dime formation here for the defense. Looks like the middle of the field is well covered. Outstanding defense there by the linebackers.
And now, DeMar, we have coming up what neither of these teams are necessarily built for. And that's a 3rd and long situation. Queen City trying to protect a 4-point lead. Let's see how aggressive they get here.
Yeah. Queen City is in field goal range, by the way.
Yep.
We're going to go quads left here. We're going to go that doubles cross you mentioned. Oh, what a getaway there by Lakeman! Intercepted the tiptoes with the toe drag swag. Coming from Motor City and their free safety, David Leathers.
DeMar, he'd have been better off throwing the football away as he got spent around by the defense trying to bring him down for a sack. Could not necessarily locate the receiver. He just knew he's in the area. But by that time, it was too much time, DeMar, for the defense to read the play, got over there, diagnosed it, picked the ball off. Terrible decision there by Lakeman.
I must say that I agree with you, Eddie, and there's very few things I agree with you on. Starting from their own 20. It's Motor City. Dump it off here to Dean. Dean is tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a 2-yard loss.
Man-to-man defense. No one got any separation. Forced to dump the ball off to his tailback, who had a linebacker lurking. That's going to be a loss of 2 yards.
7 minutes and 25 seconds here left in the 3rd quarter. Guetta underneath the center. Look out for the big tight end field. Cost going across the middle. That pass is going to be dumped off to Dean in the flats, though. And that's how you do it. You take your progression, you make your read, nothing is there, dump it off to the safety net.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's QB 101.
Ashley Jackson is always pleading for me to let her throw the ball downfield. I'm always advising her, no, Ashley, check it down.
Tell her that's why my name is Coach and your name is Player.
Oh, no.
Oh, he fumbled it. This is a true fumble. And Queen City picks it up and come away with it. And on that pickup is 94, Kappa Jones.
DeMond, just when you thought you've seen it all, and Motor City is about to climb back into this game potentially, they coughed it up. As you can see him actually stripping for the football, DeMond. He was trying to get that football loose. That wasn't on accident. That's something that's preached in practice. And Queen City forces another turnover.
Ted Haynes came with the hit. You know what he did? He did the body roll on the back, put his arm inside, spent them around, yanked that thing up out of there, and it came loose. Here is Lakeman. 5-step drop. They go with the cross again and pass it incomplete.
DeMond, we've seen him come out in this strong man dog tee a number of times now, and it is giving Queen City all kind of problems.
The biz naive. The business.
Yes.
Those who doesn't know a little urban language. 3.3 yards a play for Queen City. 4.7 for Motor City. Here's the low snap. Oh, he had a man open towards the top of the play, and I'm not sure if you saw it or not. Oh, he had a receiver wide open, but he jumped it off to Jet Zero.
Had him open on the out route, DeMond. He just needed to pat the ball for about another half second or so. He just caught him wide open for a nice game, but elected to check the ball down to Jet Zero instead. And here's that three-man dog tee again.
Yep, they playing double coverage to the top of the field if you can see it. At Motor City 34, got him in right down the middle, and it's spelling.
And the problem with that, DeMond, is you're going to double the exterior receiver to the outside, the guy that's flanking. But the problem is you can't double everyone, and someone has one-on-one matchup elsewhere. Queen City found him.
Gonna go 3-3 is the defense here. There's an out route to the top of the field again. He missed it. He had Diesel Powell wide open on 2 plays.
That time he's a bit more covered to me. I think he was looking at that safety who was lurking underneath.
Yeah, but I think if he hold that safety off,
yeah, he might fit it in there.
Once Powell make that cut, that ball should be coming out. There it is. That pass is caught and
touchdown.
Touchdown by the tight end, James Matthew Jr. You just crossed Hollywood Boulevard.
James Matthews Jr. came into this game, DeMond, tied for second on the team in catches with 18. But today, he's going around telling the crowd, y'all must have forgot what kind of player I am. And he's been making an impact all game long. This Queen City offense, they're taking advantage of this field position, DeMond.
Well, Eddie, just in case you didn't know, that's one of my favorite songs. If you want to get me hyped, just put on that song.
Roy Jones Jr.
Matter of fact, the next convention, that's what I'm listening to before my game starts.
So Queen City, DeMond, this 11-point lead almost feels like a 21-point lead the way this game has been going today, as both teams having limited opportunities with their possessions. Motor City needs to find a way to take advantage of this one.
Yeah, they absolutely do. They got to get involved. Motor City has put together some good drives. Let's not act like they haven't, but it's been the turnovers,
Turnovers.
If we look at Motor City's scoring drives, or so, they end like this. You got Motor City end on the fumble. 31-yard punt. End of the half. Interception. A field goal. And it's just been the turnovers is basically what's killing this team. And they really got to get things going. There it is on the ground. There's Cherry. I say ride Cherry to the end zone, baby.
I'm with you, Damon. As he got out of his stance and was out of there, as soon as the H and height came out of Creator's mouth, he was up and looking for the football, saying, hurry up and give it to me. I'm already at your back. He took the ball with Damon and was out of there looking like a halfback. I'm telling you, Damon, he was a couple more pounds. He could be a tailback.
You're absolutely right about that, man. I mean, why not give it to him? Why not ride that horse, man? This dude is put on the show. I mean, on the day, Bill Cherry, 41 yards on 6 attempts, 6.8 yards a carry. Long as it's 19 of the day. Here is Dean. Taking nothing away from Dean, but Dean is just not having as much production as Cherry is with 23 yards on the ground.
Yeah, not quite as productive. It is a team sport. Sometimes it's not going to be your day. But I would also say not to give up on a young man. Hey, there's still a lot of football left. It's only an 11-point deficit that you're facing. Don't give up on a man just yet.
Yeah, you're right about that. Here is a handout to Cherry, and Cherry's going to pick up 2 yards.
That time, Cherry didn't get any help from his offensive line as they got stood up at the line of scrimmage, despite the only 3-man front by Queen City.
Third and 8.
Here's that 3-3 nickel defense, Damon.
Yeah, going all slants, picks up the first down. Pass is caught by Guy Clausen.
And that time they caught Queen City napping.
I thought I saw 6.
That time they caught Queen City napping. They were going to the wide side of the field, anticipating movement over there. But all the receivers came to the middle of the field and easy completion.
And off here to Dean, and Dean is stood up right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him a yard, though, down to the Motor City 49.
Re-up shot that he received to get him on the ground, too. Wow.
That was a Bill Goldberg spear. Do you remember the streak?
I do.
There's another handoff here to Dean. Dean bounces his outside, picks up a few yards there before being tackled and brought down. I want to say that's 21. That is Todd Rigsby on the tackle for Queen City, the free safety.
I got to give Queen City credit. I was knocking them for their approach to go with this 3-3 nickel defense, but they did a great job, Damon, of holding up and forcing these tailbacks to bounce outside.
Here they are in the 3-2-9. 5-step drop it by Creator. Out route to the top. That pass is going to be complete. Not going to pick up the first down, though. Going to give him 2 yards on the carry, and he's tackled and brought down at the 46.
And I believe that was still a 3-3 nickel, Damon. They were actually in man defense, so the extra linebacker had to slide over.
Yeah.
Going to force another punt by Motor City.
Great defensive stand there by Queen City.
Fair catch.
Oh, that hit someone! It looks like Queen City jumped on it.
No, Motor City jumped on it,
Motor
Damon.
City jumped on it, but who did it hit? That's the question.
Here's my thing, Damon. That looked like fair catch interference to me. Let's see how they ruled this.
Yeah, that is going to be
that punt was away, and he did not get the opportunity to field that ball cleanly. Let's see.
I didn't see a flag. It hit a Queen City player.
It did hit a Queen City player, but I think he got pushed into him, and that's going to result in them not being flagged for that, Damon. That's a clean play.
13-yard line is where Motor City would take off on that muffed punt.
Wow. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I know Queen City coach is probably livid right now and giving an earful to R62. There's a strike right across the middle of the field. The pass is going to be completed.
Damon, I've been around this league for a long time. I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That is crazy, brother. 5-yard pickup on the previous play.
John Lakeman is in the SFL YouTube chat. Heated right now, Damon.
Yeah. I told you those flags meant something else. There's a handoff to Cherry, and Cherry almost scores.
He almost scored. And he's looking at the sidelines, Damon, telling them that no one else gets the ball right here. Give it to me again, coach. Please.
Did he say it like that, or did he say it in his Keyshawn Johnson voice, the title
No,
of his book? Dude, I can remember I was in junior high school, and I saw the title of that book. I was like, oh, that's going to cause some controversy. Here is Dean. Crosses the goal line for 6.
And let this right here for all you young SFL players be a perfect example of why every play matters. Never give up on a ball game, because all it takes is one play to change the entire effect of a ball game. And we seen it there with that muffed punt.
Yeah, you got to keep yourself involved or engaged, should I say, in every ball game. I mean, this game here has just become very, very interesting after that muffed punt, because now, I mean, this gives Queen City a lot of momentum. How is Queen City feeling? Is Lakeman his head on right? You know, after that muffed punt, he's like, man, now I got to try to go out here and put it all on my back, or is he in the mind state of, okay, let me keep calm. We still have the lead. The ball is in my hands. Let me just play my game, move the ball down the field methodically, and not force any turnovers. But also, they gotta get Jet Zero going.
Yeah. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. At this point, the head coach just needs to settle the team down and remind them what they did to get that lead and what they need to do to try to keep it.
But I'm with you though, partner. I don't put that mock punt on Queen City. The refs should have been all over that one. Because that was a fair catch call.
It was a fair catch call, Damon, but his own player resulted in that ball being muffed as he got blocked into him.
Exactly. Yeah, I think there wasn't enough room for him to catch the ball.
Yeah.
So starting at their own 24-yard line is the Corsairs. Shotgun formation here for Lakeman. Steps back, dump it off to his security blanket and Jet Zero. Nothing wrong with that. I didn't see anybody else open.
There was no one else open. At the top of the screen, both receivers are in the same area being guarded by one individual. But if Lakeman holds on to that ball, like you said, Damon, a couple times already, he had the receiver open on the out route. They've dialed that play up about 4 or 5 times now.
Yeah, they have. 1 second left before the third.
Look out.
Ends. Oh, they're going to drop it. Deezer Powell.
Had a linebacker, the safety lurking underneath, playing a cover 3 defense, and that made that throw a bit more difficult.
You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on the SFL YouTube network. Put your 4s, your 12s, your 68s, and 86 in the chat. Impact Monday heads to Atlanta tomorrow night as a rematch of the Season 14 championship game between the Sioux Falls Sparrows and the Atlanta Swarm. It's the first time the Sparrows have been to the Hive since the title game loss. Will they get revenge and spoil Atlanta's unbeaten season? Coverage starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. Here's Lakeman. The pass is almost intercepted by the defense of the V8s. This week, the SFL pregame kickoff is at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time.
Demar, you want to hear something about teamwork? Listen to this. Sabo Kanan is in the SFL YouTube channel saying, if we win this game, it's because of me. But if we lose this game, it's Guy Clausen's fault. Talk about a team player.
And the V8s have just forced Queen City to punt the ball away. I mean, that possession went by so fast. And Queen City is going to take over at their own 40-yard line. Do I still have you at a gauge?
I was signing autographs.
In the booth?
Hey, they knocked the door down, man, and refused to leave until I gave them one.
Hey, I guess they wanted it from the second ballot Hall of Fame and not the first. Ouch. His flip back jack. Yo, nice run there by Dean. Nice hard run. Picks up 4 yards.
Motor City right back in this ball game after that score, DeMond, and now they find themselves 2nd and 6, practically at midfield. Sabo said he's nothing but humble.
2nd and 6 here for Motor City. They own 44. 5-step drop here by Coretta. Coretta dumps off to Dean. Dean's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go. 3rd and 6.
Nowhere to go, DeMond. No one's open downfield, and that was a terrible pass that set up that result and that no gain there. Got to lead the receiver.
Yeah, you got to give credit to the defense of Queen City for in their pursuit there, not allowing Dean to pick up the first down. Question here, has LL Vault come back into the game for Queen City?
Oh,
There's a pass right across the middle of the middle of the field, and that pass is caught and complete by tight end Phil Koss.
Phil Koss ran a great route. Kept his body between he and the defender, made it an easy throw by Creator.
Yeah, crosses midfield on that play. And this puts him at Queen City's 43-yard line. 18-yard pickup on the play.
For our Jokers.
3-3 nickel defense. Tipped it away. Get that out of here.
Talk about being alert. That was maybe a one-step drop to mine, and the ball was out of his hands, but the defense did a great job of recognizing it, sticking his big paw out there and deflecting that pass away.
Yeah, you're right. Kappa Jones on the deflection there.
10-year veteran.
There's another, it's like $3.
It was. Both teams utilizing similar defenses today, DeMond. When was the last time you seen that?
Not as often. Well, I think last week you and I saw that. We saw defense formation utilized by both teams, but we didn't see the same play being utilized by them. Speaking of the DC Dragons and the Carolina Skyhawks, both teams utilizing the 4-4 defense as their base run-stopping defense. There's a sidearm throw. Oh, I thought he was going to jump in front of it. I thought Ted Haynes was about to come in with his Superman impersonation.
So did I.
But he does something very spectacular there. Does not allow the first down to be picked up. 4th and 4. Now Motor City has to punt it away. They're not in field goal range.
Back and forth action here in the SFL.
Yeah. Oh, and I thought that was blocked. I was gearing myself up for it.
It's a punt.
Oh, my.
Both teams, DeMond, this afternoon are putting on a show.
They are, dude. I was just about to say, man, these guys are making this low-scoring, not really a low-scoring game, but they're making this defensive game very spectacular with these special team plays as well. Time of possession total for Queen City has been 24 minutes so far in this game. Motor City, 21. Here's a play right across the middle of the field. That pass is caught by the tight end, your favorite tight end in the SFL, the entire SFL, James Matthews. I wonder how Will Todd feels about that.
Slow down, player. Will Todd is my favorite tight end in the game. Shout out to Will Todd.
Yeah, go and clean that up. 1st and 10 here for Queen City.
Look at this near tight end flex. You don't see this call too often.
There's a sweep to Todd to Jet Zero, and I said net zero, Jet Zero.
DeMond, I actually, you know what? I love that play. There was a toss out of near tight end flex. You got your tight end over there blocking for you. That was a nice play design.
I agree with you. I mean, because you want to get right behind that tight end, but there was no push from the O-line,
Yeah.
nor that tight end, and they just allowed the pressure of the defense
Yeah.
to get inside. They're going to go stretch. Oh, he's going to run backwards. I think he got the first down. Oh, no, they're going to say, no, he didn't. I thought he had forward progress. Let's see if there's a challenge here. They're going 4th and inches.
Yeah, I just saw the replay, and I think that's the right call, Damon.
And we asked for more of Jet Zero, and we're getting a boatload of Jet Zero on that drive there. Fair catch.
Another close one.
Yeah, I was looking to see what was going to happen. 3 and out for the Corsairs. Motor City takes over here. 3rd down conversions for both teams. It has been a long day in the office on 3rd down for Queen City as they're only 5 for 12 on the day. A better day, well, a somewhat better day for Motor City. They're 6 of 13, so right around the same percentage or so for both teams here on 3rd down. Handoff here to Cherry. Cherry finds a big hole. Almost, and he crosses midfield. This fullback is averaging 6.7 yards a carry.
I'm calling for it now. Bill Cherry needs to be promoted to tailback effective immediately. The heck we're waiting for the rest of the season. Employ a two-back offense, I don't know. But Bill Cherry is out here putting on a show. You wonder if he brought in his friends and family from across the country to watch this game or something, because he has an extra gear in him today.
Yeah, he's putting up some good numbers. 2-step drop it by Coretta. Gets a little pressure. Oh, and I thought it is intercepted off the tip pass by Todd Riggs. And Rigsby down to the 40 of Motor City.
The defense of Queen City, Damon, is not taking no for an answer, Damon. They come out here today vigored. The offense has struggled. It took a pick 6 to get them on the scoreboard, Damon, and they are just taking this game over. They refuse, Damon, to come away after flying all the way to Detroit to come back with an L. Can the offense seal the deal on this drive?
But I don't blame the quarterback for that interception there.
It was a nice throw.
It was an awesome throw. That's on the receiver because he dropped it. The defense did not tip that pass. Here's Jet Zero.
Damon, I don't care what anyone says. It's 17-13, and this is a very exciting game.
It is. It's very exciting. I mean, you and I, we up here in the booth, and we're not even sitting down. We're standing up, calling this game. We're just waiting to see what's going to happen next. It has been crazy. Jet Zero on a stretch sweep. Oh, he shouldn't have juked him. He should just put the shoulder down. Let me ask a question. Did
What's
they
up?
change him from a power back to a balance back?
They did.
Okay. Now, I mean, that explains the juke move there and the spin moves that he's been doing earlier and not dropping the shoulder and bulldozing people. Okay. Makes a whole lot of sense to me now. 3rd and 1 for John Lakeman. Stretch play 2-0. And Zero has not had much success on these stretch plays.
Damon, and now I think they go for it. A field goal does you. It puts you up 7. But if I'm them, I'm considering going for it and putting this game away and burning some more time off the clock. But hey, I'm up here wearing makeup, so who am I to judge?
But you know what? I mean, that is a great point. And as an offensive guy, I agree with you because my defense is playing well. We're not allowing a lot of deep passes downfield. Oh, he's going to be short. He missed it.
Wow, Damon. I'm in shock and at a loss for words. That ball came up just short of the crossbar. He needed about 2 more yards to make it. And now Motor City is going to get pretty darn good starting field position on their own 39, down 4, 4.5 minutes left to play, and all 3 timeouts.
Shotgun formation here for Ibrahim Cruetta.
Blitz.
Empty. Got a receiver open. We're going to send it off to the SFL studios to Cameron Irvine with a game update.
Thank you, Damon. Once your game is done, head on over to San Antonio. They're in the third quarter. Ace Fennick hits Deuce Fennick for a touchdown. Both teams playing well, but Alamo City has the slight 10-7 advantage over the 3-1 Skyhawks. Back to you, Detroit.
There's a handoff here to Dean right up the middle, and Dean's going to pick up a yard or two there before being tackled and brought down at Motor City's 46.
3:51 left, 3rd down and 2, Damon. Look at the vigor that Queen City. You see them run up to the line of scrimmage, Damon?
Mm-hmm. Here's Cherry. Who's been the man of the day, and Cherry's going to be stopped after picking up 1 yard.
And Damon, I know that's disappointing, but if Motor City comes out in that same defense here on 4th down, I'm going to give it to Bill Cherry again.
And here it is. 4th and 2. At their 47-yard line. They're going to go dime. Here's the defense. Gets a little pressure. First down for Motor City.
Got Clausen.
The 30. The tight end converted over to wide receiver. Comes up big for his ball club. Down to the 22-yard line with a 32-yard pickup for Guy Clausen and the V8s.
Don't tell Guy Clausen he used to be a tight end. He caught that pass, Damon. Turned upfield, used his athletic ability, not ran out of bounds, Damon. He cuts upfield, picks up an additional 15, 20 yards after the reception. As you said, those yak yards that become so important to make drives, easier to sustain and move the chains.
Guy Clausen looked like an old Jason Witten on that turnaround catch there.
Ashley Jackson's in the chat saying maybe that makeup I have on is Maybelline, Damon.
I thought it was CoverGirl.
Look at this.
There's a man wide open touchdown for the V8s. And they're going to take the lead on that touchdown reception by none other than Orion Darby.
Damon, Queen City did everything right throughout this game, but here they find themselves down with a few minutes left in this contest. Motor City had no answers, Damon, and just could not catch a break, and it was up until that muffed punt that gave them new life. And now Motor City finds themselves up 3 potentially extra point pending with 2.5 left in this ball game. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and you're right. But my question is, what was the defense doing? Because Darby was wide open on a go route. I don't even think that was a fade. I think he just shot straight up the field and was wide open. And Coretta said, look what I have. It's my buddy, my wide receiver. He's wide open. Tossed that thing to him like it was Joe Montana to Rice or Aikman to Irvin. Or as you would say back in your Chicago days, Jim McMahon to Willie Goat.
There you go. You just had to bring a cowboy into it somehow.
So I had to show you some love with your Bears.
We didn't have too many great receivers, so I didn't have a comeback for you.
Man, you guys took a track star and made him a receiver with Willie Goat. But if I'm not mistaken, I think your leading receiver in franchise history is Chris Curtis? Not Chris Curtis.
I believe it is Dicker.
Is it Dicker?
It was for a long time. I'm not sure if it still is today.
If Dicker was your leading receiver, my goodness, pray for that franchise. All right, back to the ball club. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Queen City with the ball goes across the middle of the field, and that is caught. I thought it was dropped. Somebody with orange shoes looked like a brown football to me. Queen City at their own 29-yard line. Going to go no hurry here. In the empty formation underneath the center. Had a man open to the corner.
Yes, he did.
To the corner on the sideline, and he did not see him.
Doug Spelling was open, Damon, on the fade route. I don't know if the ball would have got over the outstretched hand of the defender, but it was worth taking a shot at.
If I was Doug, I would have turned around, jumping up, throwing my hands in the air. I'm open. You know how we used to do back in field football in the middle of the street?
I didn't run all the way down here for nothing.
Okay? That's what you say when you get back to the huddle.
Yeah.
He saw it. He went right back to it. Do the pow. Oh, it's Spelling. My goodness.
2-minute warning.
hey, I need you to run that same route you just ran. I saw
Yeah.
something, all right?
Yeah.
If he lines up on the inside, you got him beat. And that exactly what the cornerback did. Mark Kaufman lined right on the inside shoulder of the wide receiver, Doug Spilley. That's a 2-minute warning. You watching Simulation Football League presented by 8 p.m. Music on the YouTube network.
Ball in the 46, Damon. Triple bunch.
In not Mexico City, my goodness, I saw MC. Motor City's territory. Here's Jet Zero. Jet Zero tried to make a spin move, picks up 4 yards there, though. 1 minute and 50 seconds left here in the ball game.
I'm surprised they don't go hurry up here. This is one of their favorite sets, that triple bunch, Damon. You can do a lot of things out of this set.
That you can. You can get some rubs in there. No intentional rubs, but you can get some rubs out of it. Crossing patterns. Here's Lakeman. That is a great play there. Get his Spelling out to the sideline and allow him to run out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:31 left. Missing the SFL action? Want to fast forward your SFL experience? Check out highlights of the SFL games on the SFL YouTube channel and on Highlights Nations provided by Victor Violent, YouTube's premier sports highlight maker. Subscribe to Highlight Nations and Victor Violent on YouTube for all your college football and basketball highlight needs. Here's a handout to Jet Zero. Picks up the first down out of that far formation.
Ran a trap play, Damon, to the other side of the quarterback. That was a very interesting play design. You catch teams in man defense with that play, Damon. That could be a house call.
3-point ball game, and Queen City is taking their time. They're not rushing it. One-on-one down here at the bottom of the field. Out route. That is a long throw. Makes a conversion. Picks up 5 yards. Gets out of bounds. Diesel Powell to stop the clock.
Damon, I don't think a lot of people realize just how long of a throw that is. He was all the way on the far hash mark and threw that ball to the other side of the field. That's about maybe 35, 40 yards he just threw that football.
If you don't know how long of a throw that is, make sure you watch the NFL Combine. They would let you know when the quarterback is throwing them out routes to the sideline from one side of the field, that's probably about, a 40-something yard pass. And there is Jet Zero, because the field, if I'm not mistaken, from sideline to sideline is 50 yards, right?
I think it's like 38 yards or something like that. I forget.
I have to double check because I thought it was 50.
Yeah.
Here is John Lakeman going to the end zone. It is taken away by the defense of the Motor City V8s. And down to the 21-yard line is the safety who
David
cut up
Leathers.
big. Leathers.
David Leathers catches that interception, sees the fans jumping up and screaming. They're so happy. They're throwing beer down the field, showering him with alcohol. He doesn't care. You know why? Because he looks up, tells the home fans, thanks for coming. Good night. Now drive home safely, you guys, because we did our business. Let's go celebrate.
Queen City does have all 3 timeouts. So there's a possibility they get the ball. They're going to get the ball back for sure, but how much time will be left on the clock?
If they come to get the first down.
Yeah, there's a run here to Dean. Dean stood up right at the line of scrimmage. Timeout here by Queen City. That's going to be their first of the second half.
Now, at this moment in time, Bill Cherry needs to walk over to the sideline and say, Coach, listen, I know I'm no fullback and my job is to block, but I've had a pretty good day today. Can I get the ball just one time?
This has been a very interesting game here in the second half. Saw a great special teams play, defensive play. Here's Dean up the middle. Dean picks up a yard, timeout there. 8 p.m. Music is unraveled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. 3rd and 9. And Motor City comes out in a passing play. Pass across the middle of the field. First down. Motor City is going to win this ball game.
I spoke prematurely, but that first down is going to do it. I was kind of surprised he actually came out and passed the ball in that situation, Damon, but they said the heck with it. We didn't come all the way over here for nothing. We've done too much work to get back into this game, and Damon, that muff punt continues to come back to my memory.
I mean, you're absolutely right. That muff punt was the turnaround of the game. And I did state when that happened, will this give Motor City the momentum that they need to get themselves back in this ball game? And I also said, what is the thought process of John Lakeman? How is he going through about that? But hey, that's that. I digress. SFL on Discord. Hey, don't leave the stream without joining our Discord server. There's so much more to do in the SFL than just being a player. Join to check out content for teams about the league and created by the community. Participate in pick'em games. Play SFL fantasy football. And test your skills in the survivor pool. Eddie, you're in about all of those during things, if I'm not mistaken. To join our server, visit simulationfl.net and click on the Discord icon on the menu. The SFL community is 2,000 strong. We see you there.
Great game by both these teams. Both these teams had their moments where they showed up and showed out, but in the end, it was the muff punt that changed the entire dynamic of this ball game, Damon, because from that point on, Motor City woke up both offensively and defensively and did what they needed to do to send these fans home happy.
Yeah, Eddie Gage, you're absolutely right, man. The turnaround that this team did in the second half, and we hate to keep mentioning, but man, it all gets back to that muff punt, man.
Yep.
I think that should have been taken into consideration that the player was pushed into the.
Oh no, I totally disagree with that.
You don't think so?
No.
I agree on that.
No, absolutely not. His teammate was blocked and torn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, his teammate was blocked and torn.
Right, so it should be play on. There's no penalty for that.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. My bad, Mr. Special Teamer.
It's all good, man. We a team.
Yeah.
We win as a team. We lose as a team.
Well, I don't think you and I taking many losses up in the booth, but but hey, it's always fun, man. And SFL Nation, this was a great game all around. I give kudos to Queen City for coming out and fighting the way they fought. But hey, that's the end of the ball game. Here's your player of the game, Mr. Darby. 6 receptions, 53 yards, 1 touchdown, 8.8 yards per catch. Hey, I was your play-by-play commentator today, Damon Simmon, a.k.a. Dr. Sim, a.k.a. Mr. Head Ball Coach, and my main man next to me was Eddie Gage. Eddie, send the people home.
Arizona, I love y'all, man. We got a big game tonight. I'm very nervous about it, y'all. Big-time matchup against a team that gives us a lot of problems. They let us throw the ball deep. The defensive backs are phenomenal. It's going to be a contest, and I just want to get it over with because I'm really excited and nervous at the same time. Let's go, y'all.
Everybody see you when we see you. Peace. Back to the studio.